Hi everyone, so I just wanted to do something a little bit different for a different sort of episode on my channel. I'm still obviously continuing with my series. There should be a No Limits to a building Dr. Frank's Flying Machines episode out very soon. But I wanted to do like something else on my channel where it's almost like lazy content really, but it's just where I go back through like old things that maybe I've done that I've never released, and I just sort of like it's just like sort of personal projects and stuff. I just thought it might be quite interesting to see some. So this one here is a park I was working on called Rockwood Lake, and the idea it was going to be like a storyline park from like the 80s or the 70s or something, and I was going to build like a story around it and upload it onto the channel, and like we were going to watch like the park expand and the town expand with it. Unfortunately I lost motivation for it, but it's an idea that maybe one day I will revisit. So you can see like around the outside and stuff I've been building like houses. These aren't like incredibly detailed, but you know, like just to sort of build part of the town. I've got like a big sort of shop here, like a department store or whatever, where you can buy like groceries or food and stuff. Yeah, so that's like at the front of the park on the sort of beachfront, and then the beach was going to be all like built onto obviously and stuff. But obviously the main event really. Actually, before I go on to the main event, we'll talk about the chocolate factory as well. So the idea was going to be like that this chocolate factory like started inviting like tourists to come in and take like tours around it, and then from that they then like started building this theme park in this empty space they had in front of them, and then there was going to be like a train for the town as well and stuff. So yeah, there's like a whole idea I had in my head that I never really went through with, but I did build the bulk of the theme park, or the amusement park should I say. So that's what I wanted to like just sort of show around. Like this was like the first phase of the amusement park, and then it was going to like maybe expand into this lot of land, and I don't know, I wasn't too sure, 100% sure what I was going to do with it. But yeah, unfortunately the project like sort of came to an end because I lost motivation. But I thought it would still be quite cool just to sort of take a look inside and see what I got done in this park. So obviously you've got like a simple entrance building, which I never actually branded. I didn't put any branding on it, but you can see what it's supposed to be, just like an entrance with like a sort of a ticket booth next to it. And then there's like multiple entrances around the park, which I'll get around to showing you. And then I've also crammed the rides in quite tightly, so you can see I've got like a carousel here with like a cover over it that I made. I just wanted to make it look a little bit different, just to having like a normal carousel. And you can see just a little sign for it there, like the entrance. And then on this side we've got one of the bigger rides, I guess, the haunted house, which actually I didn't theme on the inside because I didn't want to like waste resources on like theming something people wouldn't see, so it's just pretty plain inside. Yeah, so there's not much going on inside here. It's just all, in fact you even crash through a wall. But like main thing was just getting the facade to look quite cool. So if I turn back around and go to like a people's point of view, just down here, you can see the facade just looks quite cool. It looks like a ghost train, and you can see like the train coming around in the background, which is quite cool I think. Just sort of, it just adds like an interactive part of the ride. But yeah, so that's the ghost train, and that's again right at the entrance of the park. And then as you look this side, we've got a sort of like a travelling ride almost. I sort of set it up to make sure to make it look like a bit like it's just like it is not a permanent ride. You can see like it's on like a bit of dirt, and then you've just got the queue line going around it with these covers on top of it, just to keep people like out of the sun and stuff obviously. So yeah, I think there's like 9 rides in this park, so I'll keep going around and I'll just show you as we go around. And then along here you've got like a row of shops and stuff. I think I put like a stall in there. I put Tin Can Alley, which I didn't actually finish. You've got Bucket Ball obviously. You've got Hot Pot, which is like a coffee shop, and and then you've got the Ice Hut, which is like an ice cream restaurant. You can see that I've done. And as we go along a little bit more, and then we've got the Burger Bar, which is obviously just a place to buy burgers, and then like some seating outside it. And then I never did actually anything with this building. I was probably just going to be like another game store or something. But yeah, so that was like the buildings that just went around the outside. Again, pretty simple, just sort of like typical amusement park buildings really. And then you've got the main ride of the park, which is this roller coaster, this old wooden roller coaster, which sort of is crammed quite in. Like you can see like how the transfer section is really crammed in. The maintenance bay for the roller coaster, and we've got a ride also like tucked into the middle of it. Again, I didn't want this to look too permanent. It's just a loop of plane. In fact, is the park open? Yeah, the park is. Sorry, I was really seeing if the park was open, so I haven't seen anyone on the ride yet. There's people walking around and stuff. Yeah, so there's like a loop plane. Is that even open? Yeah, it's open. The lights are green on it. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so that was all sort of like crammed into the middle of it. And then obviously you've got the roller coaster itself, which we will take a ride on if it's going to go anytime soon. It's not the smoothest of roller coasters. I mean, I did try to make it look like an old Woody, but even still, like it probably is. It's probably like a bit too rough and too jolty. But we will take a ride on it when the train returns to the station and the next train is departed. In fact, I'll just get in position now. 1 second. There we go. Okay, so at the front of the train, and you can even see like when on the ride, it's like quite cool just to like sort of see the views of the park when you're going up the chain, which I will fast forward just to get us up there a little bit quicker. Here we go. And then so the first drop goes underground. It goes under this pathway, which can, like, the pathway has like a car ride on it, and also just a pathway where people can walk over like a couple of airtime hills, a couple of like turning airtime hills, you know, just like with high laterals, you know, quite rough, quite rickety, and that's what I was sort of going for with this train. So actually that corner there was probably quite tight, to be realistic. Like these corners are quite tight, especially for the train we're using, where the articulation is on the train isn't that great. So these corners might be a little bit too tight to be like realistic. But you know, you can sort of see the thing I was going for, like just like an old wooden roller coaster, just sort of crammed in, going into tunnels and dips and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's that for the wooden roller coaster. Quite a short ride, but you know, it's like supposed to be like quite iconic. It's quite like a, you know, just a, like, you know, you can see it from outside the park and stuff. It attracts people into the park. And actually here's obviously like a backstage area that was never finished. There's like an entrance gate here, like a big you know, just opening gate for like trucks and stuff to drop off deliveries and things like that. And then as we work our way around here, we managed to fit in a log flume, which you can obviously see that sort of goes over the top. It's a very short log flume. It's only one drop. I did want to make it longer, but there was just no way of fitting it in. So yeah, it is only the one drop on the log flume. But it sort of fits in, like it sort of fits into its space quite well. I managed to fit it in, and then obviously you get like I managed to do like the feature where you get like a good view of the drop. So if you're standing here and stuff, you can like see people come down. So it's quite interactive again. And there's like a fountain that goes off when the log comes down. But I can't actually see any of the logs at the moment. I'm not sure if it's open. Oh, it is open. But we're just waiting here. And obviously the transfer thing, like the lift, the crane to get the logs out of the water and things. So you know, just a little bit of realism there, just to, you know, add to it. Moving on from that, one of the other rides we added was this car ride. I didn't give it a name. I don't think I named any of these rides actually. I think they were all just named the default names. But you can see, like, again, it's another ride that's sort of crammed in a little bit. It goes over the bridge, it goes along here, it goes around like a circle, and then it goes down here, makes its way back under the bridge, and then back into the station. And obviously fitting the queue line in, I had to cram that in as well, so that goes over the top of the car ride and back down the other side, and that's the queue line ready for it. And what did I call it? I called it the Scenic Tour, so I did give it a name. I just didn't name the actual ride. Yeah, so that's it for this sort of area of the park, which is like the middle area. Like I said, it is very small, it's all very crammed in. And then as we come over here, we've got some more buildings. So this is like a staff room and a first aid centre. So you can see first aid this way, staff only this way. In terms of like the building itself, that probably isn't big enough to be like a first aid area, but I sort of had to make do with the space I'd given myself. And then there's like a staff entrance on this side for staff to come into the park, which is just here. And then yeah, like the staff building itself is you know, just a staff building. There's nothing inside there. It's just the default staff building that they give you in the game. Yeah, so you know, and I guess that's an adequate size. I don't know, maybe it needs to be a little bit bigger. And then you've got the Penny Palace, which is supposed to be an arcade, but I didn't actually put any like custom scenery arcade pieces in there. I just added two usable like machines, which obviously don't look that great, or free usable machines, like free vending machines or whatever, which obviously don't look amazing, but you know, they'll do for now. And then we've got a ticket booth, a little ticket booth here, because you know, you need to pick up your ride tickets, and then another little ticket booth at the other entrance. So yeah, there are two entrances at the back of the park, one here and one here. So this would be like a free to enter park, but you'd have to pay individually for the rides. And then lastly, so I think it's 7 rides. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's only 6 rides in here. I thought there was more than that. Yeah. So and then lastly, we've just got I can't remember what you call them, like a sizzler or a kickflip, sorry. Which again is supposed to look a little bit temporary, you know, being on the dirt and stuff. And it was just sort of crammed or shoehorned into the back here. It doesn't look that amazing. It's a little bit out of place, but yeah, it just adds to sort of the ride count because there's not that many rides in here. Yeah, I would have liked to fit more, but the flat rides in Planet Coaster take up a lot of room. So you know, you have to sort of like do the best you can with what you're provided, really. And then yeah, going on from that, there's just another little house behind here. I was going to build like loads of these houses. They're not highly detailed. They're just like quickly put together. And I was going to build loads to put around, like to make it look like a town. And then I was going to build like a proper train station. And I was going to extend the town like to where you can see the roads. But like I said, I just lost motivation for it because I don't know. But it would have been cool to have like had like a proper storyline going for it, and just expanding the park and the town as it went along, and just seeing like, but that was my idea, like seeing both areas grow together. But yeah, I just didn't get around to doing that. Although I will say, It is on the Steam Workshop. I'll post a link to it down in the comments, or sorry, in the description. So if you want to have a go at like taking this scenario and doing something with it, you're more than welcome to. You might have some ideas and motivation to maybe like do something with it. But yeah, I just wanted to show you around and give you a tour. I want to do videos like this quite regularly, and like I said, it is a little bit late. It's like quite lazy content in the sense that it doesn't require much effort from me, but it's all stuff that I've done in the past that I've just never released, and I think might just be quite fun to have a look at. So it won't just be Planet Coaster stuff, it won't just be No Limit stuff, it won't just be it'll be like, I'll probably go into like Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 and have a look at my old projects in there, take a look at my old stuff in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and yeah, things like that. So yeah, hopefully you guys sort of enjoyed this, and I will be back soon, hopefully with a No Limits video. So thank you very much guys, and I'll see you very soon.